Hi, this is Alex, Clairvoyant Medium, with the Tarot card of the month for September 2022, the Knight of Swords. Now, the ruling planet is Uranus. The zodiac signs are Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. The element is air, the gender is male. Now, September is generally a very fast month, and we know we've almost got the new year on the horizon by the time you hit September. Now, looking at this card points to fast moving action as well. The wind is blowing and the clouds are parting. The trees are being blown in an easterly direction, which implies coming from the west and fast. The Knight of Swords is rushing headlong into conflict. Now notice the young knight is tooled up, ready for action and heading forward into battle. This can be foolish and naive on his part though. Has he been informed of all the facts? Or does he just dive in without thinking through the consequences? I would say the latter. Now notice the knight is heading in a westerly direction too, from the east. This implies male aggression also, and driving this aggressive energy. Now notice the knight has his visor up on his helmet, so he can clearly see what lies in front of him, such as an enemy or an opponent. His sword is raised in an ungloved hand, and as the saying is, the gloves are off. However, the other hand is gloved as he grips the horse's reins firmly. On his helmet is a red feather plume, and it's blowing in the wind, which implies a fast-thinking mind. The feathers are an aspect of the element of air. So is smoke, by the way. Now the knight's red cape is blowing in the wind, and he's wearing a full suit of armour, which also includes a gauntlet. Notice he's only wearing one on his left hand, but the cape implies secrecy, protection, silence, and also withdrawal and pride. Now we're only talking about this particular card when talking about symbols and things. I keep it related to the card. There are other meanings too, but you can Google that at any time. Now, gloves can conceal or hold in. They can be a symbol of power, nobility, or a craftsman. And that craftsman has to protect his hands from injury, or he can't earn his living. Hence the gloves. Now the sword is in his right hand. Again, that is male dominance and aggression. As I've said before, the right hand of the body is male. The left hand side is female energy. Now the sword also covers defending, authority, sweeping action, and power. The ground beneath the knight's horse is changing from red to yellow. This could imply the knight is going into another country, over a border. Now the colours here remind me of DEFCON 1 to 5. You can Google DEFCON. I've also got the link on my blog. Now this looks like he's going from DEFCON 3 to DEFCON 2, moving westerly, bringing the conflict to the west. So make no mistake about it, Eastern forces are hell-bent on getting their message across. And there's wrong on both sides, so please don't take sides in this. It is what it is, and it's the politicians, not ordinary people. But just know that everything's getting momentum now. And what I see are countries in conflict. Russia, Ukraine and Crimea, obviously. But I also feel other European countries are being dragged under the wheels of this conflict, whether they like it or not, as the months roll on. And this is NATO or EU countries that sat back and watched and are now gradually getting dragged under the wheels of an unwanted conflict. This conflict is picking up speed as we head into autumn and winter in the northern hemisphere, and Putin is moving into high gear. But in the meantime, financial issues are getting worse, and we need to pay attention to that. Now, Finland needs to be very cautious from here on in, and perhaps Latvia. Now, add Pakistan in another conflict, and that's simmering with India, Bangladesh, and China. And as I look at the cards, I'm drawn to the butterflies on the horse's reins. Butterflies generally are symbolic of transformation, and that's usually spiritually. But I would say in this, it's transformation of Europe. Now, remember in one other tarot card of the month, I mentioned the map of Europe being redrawn as we speak. This is another warning to us that this transformation is happening right now. Now, notice the colours of Ukraine are in this card again. Now, keep an eye on Klaus Schwab from here on in. This is a serious issue as he, along with his World Economic Forum partners, are playing a dangerous game, and people are being distracted away from watching him and the World Economic Forum as they try to implement draconian measures. This is scary. There's a critical situation that the public as well as governments may be distracted from by the media. And this is a big mistake because these are not good, honest intentions being planned. And the people must keep an eye on the World Economic Forum constantly because they are, as many people are fully aware, trying to force us into a one world government, reduce our rights, our incomes, our life savings, while they get richer and clearly profit from this abuse and outright theft of our money. This will also leave nations poorer and dropping Western living standards drastically. More revelations about vaccines come to light, an urgent push to force us into taking these toxic experiments, and they are still experiments. Prepare to see further pushbacks against this, but also the counter push of this agenda. Now, money and unemployment are hot topics in September, as is war, and new military technology has been rolled out in the news. Also, what will it cost nations to gear up for war? War puts nations into debt, like serious debt, as well as ordinary people, as we know. Only manufacturers and international banks make the profit from blood. Now, more food crisis is indicated for September in the Northern Hemisphere. They're heading into autumn and winter. Southern Hemisphere heads into spring and summer. There could be more rain and possible flooding or damage to crops, but by September I feel we'll be at the tail end of this weather pattern. Things will brighten up in December, and warm countries like Australia for crop growing back to square one. It'll come good. I see cherries in the summer. They won't be cheap. Now, they're always expensive when you get to Christmas time in Australia. Then after that, they get a bit cheaper. But I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think they're going to be expensive all year. Alcohol prices will also go up twice before December to cover the cost of transport and crop loss. Now, when you think about the price of petrol, that's actually going to get factored into anything you buy anyway, so just go with the flow. And I don't see prices going down for a while if they actually do go down with alcohol. And I feel sweeping new laws and changes coming in. Now, keep an eye on China as this time too they'll be bringing in some more harsh draconian laws to keep control. And now again, more violence and crime is indicated in regards to youth crime and violence. Knife attacks are more common and carelessness, and I'm talking worldwide, not just Australia. There's more carelessness, reckless crime and violence, including cars being stolen, cars used in crimes like ram raidings and ramming police cars or even the individual police officer. And this is the latest popular violence against police, and it must be dealt with severely. Now, poor judgment and hot tempers in September, and parents need to step up more in a more proactive way, teaching children right from wrong and the consequences of their actions. Not easy for teenagers, you know what they're like. Been there, done that. Now, these kids that are out of control, you're only talking about a minority anyway, but they need to be steered away from crime and violence and gang culture. And the buck stops with parental responsibility for little Johnny or whoever, and accountability in the formative years onwards. Once little Johnny gets into that really deep trouble, how do you get him out of it and the parents have lost control? Not good. Now, final thing, I'm hearing October. We need to stay vigilant for something bad happening in October. I don't like the feeling of this. Just be very careful. Okay, so that's it for Tarot Card of the Month for September. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to keep going doing Tarot Card of the Month because I've noticed a falling off of the stats. So I don't know if I want to continue with this if people aren't really interested. There's more viewers on the blog than there are with YouTube. I know it's still early days, but if it continues to show poor performance, then I'll stop doing it. Okay, just stay safe, be happy, love your family and your friends, and whatever you do in life, go gently. Bye bye.